So here is where the fun begins. We get to start trying to fix all of these type errors that I get. Next up, we can close our text converter, we can close lexical, and then we can go to our hero, and then let's just start with our serialized lexical. So we are going, no, let's still do ContentNoMedia. So do I have my ContentNoMedia type? I do not. So here is the first thing that we need to fix, is using the proper types. So we've got, that's utils. So we're going to import type content. Okay, so I also don't think I have any of my blocks with imported, imported or interface names. So we're going to go down to our blocks. While I'm going through these and editing things, we're going to do ContentNoMedia, and we're going to move all of these into their folders and do this properly, where we actually have refactor, rename. This is a config file, so it's just being a bit better. And so up here in our blocks, we're going to take our ContentNoMedia and we're going to drag it down here and call ContentNoMedia. This is going to be a component folder instead. Component. And so we'll fix that as we go. But for now, this is how we will do this. All right, in our block config, we're going to set an interface name, and this is going to be ContentNoMedia, not with a space, props. So I'm going to save this. We're going to generate types, I hope. Payload generate types. Then we're going to come back up to our component. This can be shortened. Oh no, it's unused, and probably can still be shortened. But anyway, so now we will import our ContentNoMedia props, and then we're going to pass in props here, ContentNoMedia props, and this is going to break everything, and that's okay. I'm happy to do that right now. So we know we need const, we need our active. Well, let's pass in props first so we can see if this auto completes for us. So we've got our active, include BG color, header section, and content. And so just doing that, I believe, fixed all of our type issues. So for me, I know I'm not very strong with TypeScript, and that's why I'm very thankful that I have Payload CMS to really help me out with that. So I've learned a lot about how typing works, and I'm happy to continue learning from that. So that fixed everything there. I don't know if it's going to fix anything here because we're going to come to our image object. Okay, so I know at least what to do. So we're going to import type, and we're going to break everything again, take our props, and this is going to be of type media. And for this, I know our issue is, so if I have image, the problem has been that I have my images in a group, so, which I may not have in a group anymore. Media, title, description, credit, ID, updated at, as long as all the image stuff is in there. So now I should be able to do, so instead of image, I'm going to take const, set it equal to props again, and then we're going to do this, where we're going to not take image, we're going to take file name, we're going to take height, we're going to take width, we're going to take alt description. So for me, priority, class name, at least priority, that is from something else. So what we need to do is do at media, and instead of, I could take everything from our image element, but that's going to bring in so many different, it's fine. So I'm going to do HTML attributes, HTML image element. And so now I should be able to pull in class name. Oh, but the problem is that, here, let's go up to we'll do type props. And what the problem is that I don't just need class name, which is going to be a string. I also need priority, which I believe is going to be a Boolean. So that's the problem that I was going to run into, and priority is not something that was on any of those class or any of those attributes. So I'm going to take props and then props dot, oh, it doesn't need to be in curly braces there. My bad. So now all of this should be good, and then I can call priority out as well. And so here we'll fix the schema in a minute. That's going to be a bigger project, and that's going to be more of like the advanced SEO stuff. I don't know how much people are interested in that. So we'll see if we do that. But now we can do file name, not file. Dang it, man. All right, file name. And do I still need to? Nope, I don't. Okay. And then we've got height, which is still going to have default values there, as well as width, just in case they're not defined. Then we're going to have our alt description. I don't know if we're still going to use this logo object, but I'll leave it there for a second. And then we come over to our hero, which has an image. The TypeScript error is gone. I did it. Yay. But then I see upstream image response failed. So let's look at, okay, so I almost did it. The problem I think is that this needs to be image.image. And the problem is that it's not letting me do that. So the next one we're going to go to our ContentWithMedia block, because that one's going to be what really helps us get all of this together. So ContentWithMedia, we're going to do ContentWithMedia there, refactor, we're going to call this, rename config refactor. We're not going to rename the constant. Then we're going to go into it, go to our interface name, ContentWithMedia. Then our interface name is going to be ContentWithMedia props. We'll come over here and generate types real quick. Then we're going to bring in our component, ContentWithMedia. Come down here, refactor, rename, component, refactor. All right, so now we're going to click into this, and I do believe we are going to run into some errors with our images, because we can see in with all of our ContentWithMedia, we don't have anything showing up. So all of that can be attributed here to our props. So we're going to do props, ContentWithMedia props, and then we'll do it at the top. So instead of let ratio, and then this needs to be let ratio equals, we'll do auto aspect. So I don't need the default down there, but again, you know, I don't like the little squiggly lines that show up in my IDE. So of course I'm going to mess with it. All right, so we're going to take a const. We're going to take, so we don't have an aspect ratio, but we have active, we have all of those. Oh, I know what's happening. I didn't hit props. So do we have aspect ratio? Image orientation is what it's called. So image orientation is what that should actually be. Then we have text position. So let's space this out so I can see again. Header section, text position, all that equals props. What else is missing? We'll fix the header in a second. Image, not aspect ratio. We need this to be image orientation. Buttons as well. Image header. Okay. So now let's move down the line here. I don't even have this type check or this switch statement anymore. I just have these class names defined, so I can actually get rid of this. Now for header, we're going to change header to header section. Gets rid of that error. Then we've got image. Now here, we are going to say image.image. Perfect. Okay, so that is what's happening here. .image and type of image equals object. At least I think so. If not, we'll just do the is not string spread. So we'll do is not string. Oh, type of image.image. There we go. All right. So now it's missing some of the key fields because of that. So now, well, let's see first. Before I do all of that, let's make sure that this works. In this image object, space, background image. You know what? Let's just actually type all that out again, just in case. We'll do image.image So if there is an image and the type of that image.image does not equal a string, if all of that is true, pass that in, and then we have got our image.image, and we can get rid of all of that. And so that should work. Let's get the header section down here set. Header section, we'll change the serialized lexical while we're at it. Rich text, since we just did that, and if you missed it, you should go back and watch it, because I know that's a big request that I get, is how to use rich text and the serializer. So highly recommend. All right, so rich text, then we'll do data and get rid of all of that. So no more type errors. We hit save. Let's see if we get our images back. Interesting. There are not broken images, at least. So let's take a look at our image object. So let's go ahead and log an image. So when we log that image, we get a couple, and it's just image right away, which tells me that there isn't a second layer of image. But if I see here, our image const does have another image. So that's interesting, that then it's still not working across the board. But at least the rich text is working, so that's nice. So that tells me something needs to change in how I'm querying things. So let's go up to our home page. All right, but we're here because we've got show blocks, which this needs to change too. We need a different block renderer. Okay, so this I think is what's messing us up. So we're going to just do blocks. That should satisfy everything in there. We come here, we have images. Look at that. All right, we have images everywhere. So we're going to do the same thing next for our card section. So we'll do blocks. We'll go to our card section. We're going to then come down here to add a new directory that we'll call cards. Then we come all the way up, drag our card section down, refactor. We're going to rename, we're going to make sure that this works, but refactor, rename, component. I haven't tried nesting in multiple files or multiple folders, so we'll see if that does anything dangerous, but we will figure that out in a second. We've got our card section here. We drag that into cards, refactor, rename. We'll call it config. Yes, rename the file. Shoot. Card section session. All right, so let's actually do this. So undo that, and then we're going to, I don't know why I keep doing that. Refactor, rename, config, refactor. No, do not rename it. Then we already have our interface name generated for this. Perfect. So we come here. We've got our card section props. So page layout. Okay, shorten that then. Okay, so we've already got, just to keep everything the same here, we're going to use props, and then we will set our props const. We're going to deconstruct it. We're going to take active. We're going to take cards. Is that it? Is there no cards? Is it just card? So we take those props. Then we just need active. Oh, header section too. So let's get our header section, get rid of cards there, get rid of card there, card length, card map. So I think this here is going to get us mixed up or messed up a little bit. So first, let's come down and refresh and see what we get in our card sections, and we'll adjust from there. All right, so we're still not getting an image. So let's adjust the card real quick just to make sure that this doesn't actually work. Card as card props. Okay, so let's take a look at our card configuration real quick, and then we have card button props, but so we have our card array, which I think ends there. And so can we do interface name there and do card array? So no, that's not where that belongs. See if it's one down. Yes. All right, so our card array, generate types. Come up here, and then we're going to, just out of convention, I don't know if it's actually necessary to do that, but import type card array. And then we're going to take all of this away and do props, card array. And then from the card array, and this is the part that got me messed up when I was looking at this on a different project, because card array is clearly going to be an array of items. And so I needed to look up how to do the, like how to get just like a single item out of it. So I have an example of that I'll pull up real quick, where we're going to do our, the type still needs to be up here. So we'll do type, we'll call it props. And then we're going to set that equal to non-nullable. And then it's going to be card button props. And we're going to take number. And so number means, at least I think so. Is this going to work? There's no index matching. Okay, so that may not work like I think it's going to, but because I don't use... Okay, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of this, and we're going to move it into our card component here. So instead of trying to figure all of that stuff out, we've just got this. So we don't need class name anymore. Card. So then we can do card.include button. All right, card header. Then we've got card.image. I think is it a second image? It is. So then we want to make sure that the type of that card.image.image does not equal string. And then we do card.image.image there. Does this need to be imported? I think so. Jeez. All right. Do that. Move you. All right. So we have image object from type. Why? There's that. Okay. We've got our image object there. And I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but remember, this is coming from a project that I've had for a long time. So a lot of cleanup can happen, but it shouldn't happen quite yet. All right, so let's clear this up, get all of the errors out of the way. Then we'll do card.image.image. And actually with this, I don't need to copy, or I don't need to do that a bunch of times, because all of the images are going to be the same. And then one more here, but we're going to remove our curly braces, do card.cardHeader, rich text component, card.cardText data. And then this only can show up if there is card text. All right, card.include button, card.button. Okay, so now we got to go into this button and fix it up to. This one should work with the what I was trying to do earlier. So we are then going to do our import type, and I know we have our card button props. Then we'll do type card button props. Wait, I don't need to do all that. Props is going to be non-nullable. We're going to try this again. Button props number. Okay, and then we'll do and React. So actually what we'll do is we will take these out because this is not a very impressive component. So we've got our button container. Oh, and it's only taking one button. Okay, so primary button, we don't need class name in there. Title is going to be card.button.title. Card.button. Card.button, open a new tab. And then in all of that's the same thing, except now as the secondary button. Then we can get rid of these buttons. So I need button.isPrimary, question mark, yada yada. So that, I need to do a key property up here, key card.id. So that jacked up some stuff. But I should actually be able to leave this button component there. So I will. So let's add that key back, card.id. And then in the button, we're going to have props, card, button props, const is going to be those props. You've got is primary, title, link, open a new tab. And so we also need to add our class name. And that's it. So we'll do string and get rid of that. Okay. Do props up here just to make things easier. Type props. Oh, I didn't take class name out. All right. And so label is actually just going to be title. Nope. Title. I did it twice. Love to see it. All right. So now our cards should have no more errors. They do not. So let's clean up a little bit here. Okay. Save. And then I should be able to come here. And we come down to our cards section and we've got cards again. Oh, you love to see it.